So that was a bust. I didn't do that correctly. This is a confetti cannon, a party popper, and yeah, it was supposed to go up and it's on the floor. But Happy New Year, guys! Welcome to 2021. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is a brand new year and I'm excited. Welcome to 2021. Fingers crossed. I don't want to overhype the year because we overhyped 2020, but you know what, I'm not going to talk about that. Alright, if you're seeing me for the first time on your screen, my name is Uchechi and I am a content creator, digital marketing consultant, fashion model, and on this channel I teach content creators like me and business owners how to use Instagram better for business, how to create better content by providing content creation tips, and also share my entrepreneurship experiences. In last week's video, I did a Q&A, right? So I had asked you guys to send in your questions. Guys, I had breakfast on Google, so I'm just burping. Alright, in last week's video, I did a Q&A, right? So on my Insta story, I asked you guys to send in questions on, any questions you had for me on entrepreneurship, because last week was my 1 year anniversary. So I started the Q&A in last week's video, but I didn't want it to be too long, so I cut it into two. So I'm going to do the concluding part in today's video, as well as share some of, so I was supposed to share some of my plans for 2021, but my vision board is not ready yet, so I'll probably share that with you in the next video. So if you haven't watched the first part of the Q&A, I would link it. Where does this usually come up, left or right? I still haven't figured that out, but I'll link that here and also link it in the description box. So you may want to watch that and then come to this, or you can decide to watch this and go and watch the first one when you're done with it. But I'll link it both here, up, and in the description box. Where did I stop? So in last week's video, I answered Tessipa's questions. So I'm starting from Chinelo. Chinelo asks, how did you know when to take the plunge? How do you stay motivated and accountable? I think, so I answered yes. So I answered, let me scroll down. So I answered, Chinelo, I answered your question when I was answering various questions and only those questions, right? So how did I know when to take the plunge? This entire journey was totally unplanned, right? So my plan, I was supposed to work for a bit. This entire journey was supposed to happen 2-3 years in the future, right? So when I resigned from my PR job, the plan was to get another one before now staying on my own, but that didn't work out, and so here I am, right? So this knowing when to take the plunge just was a conversation I had with God. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, whichever clicks first is what will get my full attention, and staying on my own clicks first and has gotten my full attention. So yeah, answer that in last week's video. Okay, so the second part of your question is, how do you stay motivated and accountable? It's a number of things really. So first are goals that I have set for myself, things I want to achieve in a certain period of time, right? So those things, when I encounter challenges, or when I'm at my low points or unmotivated, I remember those things, especially because I write a lot, right? The Notes app on my phone is probably the most used after social media apps or platforms, most used app on my phone, because I'm always scribbling stuff, I'm always writing stuff. If anything comes to my head, I write it down. If any idea comes to my head, I write it down, whether it's for a digital product, whether it's content, whether it's something or my personal life, I just write it down just so I do not forget. Or if I forget, I can always refer to it and remember what I was trying to do or what crossed my mind at a particular point in time, right? So my goals and plans keep me in check. Content that I consume also keep me in check, right? So on Instagram and here on YouTube, I follow and I'm subscribed to some creatives, and I am motivated with their content. So on Instagram, creatorials, Trisha Bees. Yeah, I think those are the major people that I follow for both marketing and digital marketing content, right, here in Nigeria. For outside Nigeria, there is Harry or Barry, gosh, I've forgotten, Tom Ross, and two other people. Right, so these are accounts that I follow on Instagram. I also follow some hashtags so that I can see content on YouTube. Here, I'm subscribed to some channels. So Vanessa, Catherine Manning. There's this Catherine was a content bug. I don't know if you know her, but she has switched back to her original name. Then there's a third person. I have forgotten her name. I'm not subscribed. Okay, I'm subscribed to her. Kathy or Kathy. Yes. So those are platforms I am subscribed to for YouTube and follow on Instagram to help me stay motivated. And again, that's in addition to my goals. For staying accountable, so for my first year, right, I mentioned in my last video that because I'm doing a lot of things by myself, I don't have anyone on my team yet. I'm still looking for trustworthy hands, but because I'm doing a lot of things by myself, I am taking on less clients, right? So for me, it is quality over quantity at this point in time, and to be very honest, that's what it should be. So I'm hoping that even when I grow, nothing gets into my head that decide I'm just only interested in the numbers. I would love for it to be quality over quantity at every given time. Okay, so a communist question is, what has been your most challenging moment as an entrepreneur? I answered a bit of this in last week's video. So one challenge that I'm currently dealing with is getting the right people, right? Getting extra hands to help me with stuff, because I have had to turn down jobs because they came in at the time when my hands were full, and because I didn't have anyone helping me, I couldn't take extra work, right? And so that has limited a lot of things. So it has limited the number of people I could have worked with. It also limited my income flow because I'm not taking on as much client as I want to, so I'm not making as much money as I would want to. However, that should be different this year, because I'm going to put a bit more effort into trying to get people to join me on my team. There's also a plan to get a business manager that would take some load off me, so that I can focus on some other parts of the business, right? Another challenging moment is resources, is access to resources, right? So as you guys know, internet data is expensive, it's ridiculously expensive in Nigeria. And it's not just expensive, it's one thing for it to be expensive and then good, right, and steady and reliable. It's another thing to be expensive and be shitty. Please excuse my French. It is so frustrating. So 95% of what I do is on the internet. So I cannot afford to have poor internet connection. But unfortunately I do, right? there was a period where I battled with internet connection, and it just affected a lot of things. It affected work, it affected a lot of personal plans that I had, because my YouTube uploads became irregular because I would finish editing and then uploading would be a problem. It would take such a long time, and everything was just a mess. So yeah, that has been a challenging moment. I've been able to sort it out a bit. So I have found a seemingly more reliable internet service provider, but it is expensive to maintain. So this is why I need to get more hands, so that I can take on more clients and get more income coming in and balance out my income and expenditure. I don't know if I just made sense, but yes, getting the right people and then access to resources for work have been my most challenging moments so far. Next question, just Abby, how has it been so far? It's been an interesting experience, right? The beginning, like I mentioned in last week's video, when someone asked how the first 8 months have been, it's been a mix of good and bad, right? So Sometimes it's tough, sometimes it is interesting, sometimes it's rewarding, sometimes it's just really frustrating, right? See, this entrepreneurship thing, you know how people say they want to start their own business so they can be in control of their time and not have any boss to report to and be their own boss. I'm not my own boss, guys. I don't think anybody really is, except you are doing stuff for just yourself, right? But even as an entrepreneur, right, I have digital products that I want to put out. So I'm working for people. I'm also servicing clients that have digital marketing needs. So I'm working for people. So I'm not entirely free as people think when they think about starting on their own or being an entrepreneur or living a 9 to 5. In fact, the only advantage that I believe you have over anyone in a 9 to 5 is that you have a more flexible time. In my opinion, that's the only difference, that's the only advantage. You do not have more or less time, because there are times where I'm working on stuff till 2 a.m. Sometimes I do not sleep because I need to get stuff done. There are times where entrepreneurs are working even more or harder than those with 9 to 5 jobs, right? So it's not about being your own boss or having more or less time. It's just that your time is more flexible. So I can decide that today I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to rest. I'm just going to chill and watch Netflix and just lazy about. But I really can't do that when I'm working in 9 to 5 because I have to show up to work every day. Except I'm a very unserious employee who just shows up when he or she likes, or just gives annoying excuses for not showing up to work, right? That's really advantage, flexible time. So yeah, it's been good. I have learned, oh my goodness, I have learned a lot on this journey, a lot. So working with people, skills, acquisition, I have learned a lot, and I do not take it for granted. I have no regrets. Even when I've had bad moments, I have no regrets for embarking on this journey. It has been great. Now, this next question is from SP, and it is, how long did it take for you to properly plan out your business? Wow, I must be doing a good job for you to think I have properly planned out my business, because I haven't. Brethren, I haven't. I'm still figuring stuff out, guys. I am still figuring stuff out. But the plan for 2021, which I was going to talk about at the end of the video, but now that this question has come up, I can just talk about it now. The plan for this year, 2021, is to put in a bit more structure. Now that I'm talking about this, I need to call someone. At the end of 2020, what I was trying to do was to make my company more operational, right? So that I can begin to do business with it. So getting a corporate account, doing my TIN regularization, I got that, right? And putting some other things in place so that I can start doing business with the company and also dealing with corporate brands. Because as at 2020, I couldn't do that because when I'm presenting my invoice, I need to present my TIN, my tax identification number for VAT and all of that stuff, and I didn't have all of that, right? But the plan for this year is to now start working with the company itself. So put a bit more structure. Again, like I said, getting some people that would start helping me on projects. And yeah, so it's not properly planned out, but it's work in progress. So how long has it taken me? It could have taken a shorter time. Truth is, I did a lot of procrastination in 2020. I second guessed myself a lot. It was a lot of things that happened in the year 2020, but in 2021, that is hopefully going to change, and it will be a bit more structured, and I'll begin to do a bit more planning, proper planning. Like I mentioned, I'm getting a business manager who would take some work off me and assist with certain things. So yes, a lot of more planning is going to happen in 2021. So it is not, I can't even answer that because it's an ongoing process. So this next question is from Alpha Beta Media, and he's asking, why did you decide to choose this path of entrepreneurship? Have I? Okay, so I think what I've answered is more of the how, which is where I talked about having a conversation with God, and saying that I'll do this and do this simultaneously, and anyone that clicks first will get my full attention. So that's the how. For the why, chose this path because there are certain things that I want to do that I wouldn't be able to combine with a 9 to 5. So for instance, there is this YouTube channel that is now on. I would also want to have digital products and a lot more things. It wouldn't be possible for me, I'm saying me because some people can, but it won't be possible for me to combine this with a 9 to 5. Reason is, when I'm at a 9 to 5, I usually give it my all, right? So there is no room for distraction. I mean, in fact, that is why I resigned from my PR job to get another one. Because while I was there, I was applying, right? There are times where I'll get calls to fix interview dates and I'll ask to push it because I would have some commitments in the office, and I'll either be playing a primary role or be playing an important role, and I wouldn't be able to excuse myself from those responsibilities. So I think I shifted or cancelled about 2 or 3. And I was just like, no, it makes no sense. As long as I'm here, I'm not going to take another job, right? So that's why I quit, like resigned to get another one, because I'm sure people will have been wondering, why do you have to resign to get another job? You could have done that while on the job. For me, it is not very possible. Once I'm at a 9 to 5 or a full-time job, that takes all my time, that takes all my attention. So it wouldn't have been possible for me to combine that with a YouTube channel, especially because for the YouTube channel, and the process from start to finish is done by me, right? So the video recording, the video editing, everything, I do it myself. So what time would I have had to combine that with a 9 to 5, right? I also want this YouTube to be serious. It's not just something where I would upload whenever I feel like or whenever I have the time. I'm trying to commit to uploading every week, and that just wouldn't have been possible for me to combine with a 9 to 5. Same thing for some other plans that I have for the future. The only difference, or in my opinion, the only difference or advantage of entrepreneurship over a 9 to 5 is that you have a more flexible time, and that's what drew me in. The flexible time to be able to do multiple things at the same time, right? I wouldn't have been able to combine with a 9 to 5, so that's why I left a 9 to 5 to focus on this. Now the last question, which is from Roots and Juices, is: are there days you had to pause to gain some clarity on how to navigate your next moves? Yes, on several things. So both as Uchechi, the content creator, the company that I incorporated, YouTube, Instagram, a lot of things. There are days where I definitely paused to get some clarity, and I'm still taking pauses to get some clarity because I haven't gotten there yet. I'm winging it sometimes. There's a lot of trial and error going on behind the scenes sometimes, just trying to figure out what's working and what's not working and what I want to settle on eventually. So yes, definitely there are days where I have had to pause to get some clarity. There are days where I sat down with a pen and paper to just write down ideas of things that I want to do, things, and when I'm writing down, I decide that, okay, this is not going to work, this is not for me, so I'll cross it out, expand on this idea, and so yeah, definitely there are days. I think everyone has those days where it's compulsory. I think everyone has those days where they pause to reflect on where they're coming from, where they are, where they want to go to, how to get to where they want to go to. So yes, I definitely have those days where I pause to get clarity on my next moves. Yay! I have answered all the questions. Thank you to everyone who sent in questions on my Insta story. This was definitely better than what I had planned originally. So yes, thank you. Like I said, I was supposed to share my vision board in this video, but for some reason it is not ready. So I'm going to try and see if I can do that in the next video. If not the next video, but this month, in the month of January. So what I want to do is I will share my vision board, which has my plans for the year. Then by the end of 2021, by God's grace, I would now review with you guys. Does that sound like a good idea? I think it does. Why do I keep answering my questions? But I think it sounds like a good idea. If you want me to do that, let me know in the comment section. Do you want me to share my vision board with you, and then at the end of the year we do a review to see where I went or how far I went? Let me know in the comment section, so I'll know whether to go ahead with that. Okay, so that's the end of this video, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you again to everyone who sent in questions for the Q&A. If you haven't watched the first half of the video, I'll leave the link in the description box for you to do so. And yeah, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to share with people. Again, Happy New Year, guys. Bye bye.